Okay, Lydia up here is amazing. And just had her on Giant TV for an episode. So great. And her story is incredible. From Russia, went to Portugal to get out of Russia, and then now ended up in Israel. Got a coaching business. Someone's been through a lot, doing great things. So check this episode out. She's got a huge personality. I love the fact I know her now, and I think you're going to get some great nuggets from her. Just a killer episode. Hi, everybody. This is Paul Hitchcock. I'm the founder and president of Giant Jacks Media. Help other businesses to grow and nurture. And this is my channel, Giant TV, where we offer value. I've got incredible people on here doing amazing work. And Lydia is certainly one of them. Welcome, Lydia.
Hey, glad to
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And let's get into this because you've got an interesting background. You've done some great work in your career, and now you are a coach to coaches. Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if I have to start off from like very beginning, I had a corporate career for 15 years. I was in finance,
Yeah.
working for the major Big Four firm. And then 15 years, 15 years in, I was like, well, there gotta be something more. I want to do something more kind of person to person, something where
Yeah.
you can see result faster, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying the finance industry or the audit industry, it's just the result is a little bit way vague and you cannot
True.
see it right away. So I wanted to see something right away. I wanted to have a direct impact. So I moved into coaching industry eventually. So the last 8+ years, I've been a coach, and I've been a life coach, and I changed a little bit my focus, but currently I'm a business coach, and I
Yeah.
think this is the best that I can give to my clients because I have the business background and the business education,
Yep.
and the experience from,
Yeah.
building my practice over the last 8+ years. So
Yeah. Well,
that's what I do
I
right
gotta
now.
ask you. Yeah. I gotta ask you that we were talking offline, and you said you like working, you do work with people who are just kind of starting out and need to figure out, who do I call? What do I do? Yeah, right.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because I think this is a big gap. And, I have a couple of posts on LinkedIn where I say the coaching industry is broken. And I know it sounds a little bit dramatic, but there are so many coaches out there that, they go through the excellent training, right?
Right.
And then they just thrown like if you throw a child into the water and like swim, and they're like, I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how to swim.
Flopping around. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. So I want, because I've learned recently the statistics are just appalling. The statistics are only 0.02% of coaches make 6 figures or more.
Wow.
0.0.
That's amazing.
That's appalling.
Yeah, that's appalling. It's like real estate agents, the top
There you
10%
go.
control everything. Yeah.
There you go. And then there's another one I'm going to throw in. Is 81% of coaches give up by end of year 3.
Ah, interesting.
So, and I want to change that. And I
Yeah.
know it's kind of a little bit Don Quixote, kind of fighting with the bee.
I know the reference. I know the reference. I've got to tell you, because you mentioned Don Quixote, it's so funny because I got 4 kids, and when they were in grammar school, the parents would go in to read stories, and I read Don Quixote in my
There
kids'
you
class.
go.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Love it.
There you go. Well, in Russian, I'm Russian. We study literature extensively, so we have to read all this stuff. And when we were kids, we read this. We're like, oh my God, why do they make us read this stuff? Now, when you grow up, you realize you realize
Now you
why.
know. Now you
Anyway,
know. Yeah.
I do feel a little bit like a Don Quixote, kind of fighting this big, but whatever I can do, wherever I am, I want to help and I want to grab them while I watch this, if you watch the Discovery Channel or whatever, National Geographic, this little turtles, when they just pop out of the eggs, they they have to make this way to the water. If
Long
they don't
journey.
make it to
Yeah.
the, but if they go very slow, and they're seagulls that come and eat them
Yeah.
away. They have to
Yeah.
make it to the water. So I want to, and I don't know if this analogy is going to work,
Love
but
it.
I want to grab them, once they pop out of those eggs, I want to grab these new coaches out of the coaching schools or just starting the journey. And I want to show them the way, what I did 8 years ago. And I've done it again and again and again, because I know it's not that difficult. Just you have to do the right thing every day. The consistency is what matters, just targeted action, what matters, and the mental game. I think
Yes.
what is often missed, that, coaching business, leave the coaching, it's still building a business. Building a business is a tough mental game.
Yeah. Well, I was going to
That's
say,
why,
yeah. I was
there
going
we
to say
go.
your comment is great because is that when you're coming out of the gates as a coach, you can't afford to sit around and figure out where am I getting clients from? What should I be doing? You got to come out of the gates like that turtle, day one, process in place, foundation, and crank on it. Fair statement?
And absolutely. Otherwise, again, the analogy, or the seagull are gonna come and kind of
Yeah.
eat you, and you're not gonna make it. There you go. So that's what I'm trying to do, and trying to find different, ways how to do it through the coaching packages, for the products that I can offer, like online courses and stuff like that, ebooks, Anyway, that's where I'm at. And again, because I've done it a couple of times,
Yeah.
right? Because I had to,
Yeah.
restart my coaching practice couple of times. I know the drill, and I just want to show people the most coaches, right? The most optimized way, and it's there. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
And what is that? So what do you find is the biggest challenge with these coaches you're working with? What is it? They are are afraid to sell. They don't know, who to call. Like, what is the common thread?
Yeah. Well, I hate to say it, but kind of all of the above.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
uh, but yeah, it's first is the noise. There are so many people, and it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. There are so many people that are trying to say, "Oh, pick me. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna help you build this," and they give you a big promise, they and
right.
unrealistic in my view, and they just derail them. So there's too much noise, too much information, that they just
Agree,
get lost,
agree.
and they
Yeah,
just procrastinate, instead of doing the work, the habit, the daily action that I mentioned that they need to do. They just, they're all over the place. This is one thing. And then the second thing is then the reason why they do this, because there is a fear of selling, there's a fear of failure, there's all those internal mental blocks that they have to overcome. And
yeah,
that's what I'm focused, because I think the first 30, the first 90 days, if you can work through those, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
the fear of selling, the fear of putting yourself out there, being authentic, the fear of failure. I call it like rejection game. Like
Yeah.
get your first 100 rejections as soon as you can. So the sooner you get through those, then and then sky's the limit. So
Yeah. I
instead of
gotta, well, I was going to
okay,
mention that one of the things I
okay,
saw in your content, which I really liked, is you said that uh, expectations have to be realistic. Meaning, if
yeah,
you're a coach and you're starting out and you think, "Hey, I'm going to come in, get people pretty easy. I'm going to have some good money." No, what you were saying is at least a year. You got to give it a year to get any traction.
yeah,
And I just,
yeah,
this is a long game. You use that phrase, long game. Love it.
yeah. No, absolutely. And I'm saying that so instead of going after that mirage, that people offering you like 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever
Yeah.
business that you will get, but you can only get there once you get through some of the steps. That is just, you have to get through. You have to get through the rejections. You have to get through the fear of selling, the fear of putting yourself out there, trying and failing, doing a launch, having a failed launch, all of this, you have to get through it. And it takes time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I often tell people when they get anxious and when they get impatient, my clients, I tell them I have a great exercise. Take a pea, right? A pea or
Oh,
a bean, a pea or a bean. Put it a couple.
yeah.
Put it in a jar of water with a cotton, and just wait it to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It takes
Yeah.
time, right?
Takes a
And you
while.
can
Takes a while.
scream at it. You can scream at it. You can kind of try to motivate it to grow, but it will take time to grow. And some of them will not grow, right? Because, whatever, it's just the
Yeah.
nature. So anyway, there are natural processes and natural things take time. And I think business is also, it takes time. People don't realize that, and unfortunately there are a lot of people who trying to sell some accelerated processes that I'm yet kind of to see that actually work.
Right.
I haven't seen that work. So
Yeah, no, it's
um,
great. Great stuff you're saying. And I will say this for everybody listening, because this is a great conversation, that Lydia's contact information will be around this video, wherever you're watching it, because we simulcast this on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere, and get connected with her. And I want to ask you this, Lydia, as a kind of we close up here, is that what does an initial onboarding look like with you? Someone says, "Hey, I'm interested." What do you do with them? Do you have an exploratory meeting?
Um, well, I guess there are two options. It depends how much they kind of seen me, they've seen my content, they kind of interacted with me in a passive way. If they've seen my content, if they kind of feel like we're a good fit, I have an entry product, which is get you 10 clients, 10 coaching clients in 30 days,
What
which
is
is
that? Online
99.
course? Online course?
Yeah, it is, but with my support as accountability, because I don't believe in online courses kind of by itself. I
Right,
think
right.
it's a great offer, but it doesn't really work. Again, my experience. So it's a great way, but an alternative, you can grab a 30-minute discovery call with me, and then we can develop a personalized offer, how I can help you to to develop your offer, develop your marketing systems, develop your business systems, and start getting clients.
Love it. Love it. Lydia, we could talk forever. I love this subject. Thank you so much for being here. I know you and I are going to stay in touch, but really appreciate it.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
for sure. Okay, we'll see you soon.